Very.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Rai. I'm an SFAA BFA alumni, and I'm a current grad student at UC Davis in Native American Studies. And this is far from Native American Studies today. I'm here as a collaborator with the San Francisco Artists Alumni, that's SFAA, and I'll be introducing the artist today. The SFAA Spotlight Series, this is, I think, the second one. This is a new monthly online talk featuring an SFAI alumni. The word community is woven between artists as kind of like a looser theme. And I just want to quickly extend a thank you to the SFAA board, Maria, who's manning this whole thing, Annie, Brianna, Christina, Linda, Marianne, Tobin, and all the fellow advisors. Also a special thank you to Annie for sponsoring the talk today. Before that, I just want to, before I introduce Oliver, I just want to acknowledge that even though we're here virtually, San Francisco is Ramaytush Ohlone, Muwekma Ohlone lands. And in the words of this great Native author, Deborah A. Miranda, quote, "To make a land acknowledgement truly powerful requires that we internalize the story to which it alludes, a story about sovereignty, colonization, decolonization, and truth," end quote. I'll get off my soapbox. All right, so today's spotlight highlights the work of Oliver Hawk Holden. Oliver graduated from SFAI with a BFA in 2016. He's originally from Maine, but he's been in San Francisco for about 10 years now. Utilizing humor and satire with a focal point on form and function, his work ranges from kinetic sculpture and installation to video and painting. His work has been featured in Juxtapose, exhibited at SF MoMA, Evergold, On Approval, Incline Gallery, and Facebook's AIR Mural Residency. Oliver has co-founded the Expert Artworkers LLC. This is a fine arts service company that provides art installation and general art handling services in the Bay Area. When thinking of the Spotlight series and this kind of looser theme of community, I thought of Oliver with his expert art workers, and that being a kind of representation for the people working behind the scenes. Oliver will be introducing both his artwork and his work. First, we'll switch from presentation to Q&A around 10:30, maybe 10:40, however long Oliver talks. So please join me in excitement through the chat or through the little clapping emoji, or visually looking like you're clapping, to welcome Oliver Hawk Holden to SFAA Spotlight.
Hi, hey, thank you for that. Thank you for the intro. Thank you for having me here today. I'm a little nervous, so I figured that I'd put together a slideshow basically of the last 10 years of stuff that I've made and projects that I've done and people who I've worked with, just talk about that for the time I've been given. Yes, I'm gonna share my screen and cool. All right, cool. Is this working?
Yes, perfect, Oliver. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right. Cool. So I'm Oliver. I was born in Maine. I moved to San Francisco at age 18. I attended the art at the San Francisco Art Institute, and after graduating, I worked in galleries and museums and had a bunch of other different jobs in between that time of 2016 to 2019. And then in 2019 to current, I've been working with my partner, Andrew Ingersoll, in collaboration with Expert Art Service, providing like art services around the Bay. And then we also collaborate creatively and have done a couple of shows together at this point. But all right, so that's just a brief overview. I'm going to start with my early work at the Art Institute. Cool. All right, here is a video of a kinetic sculpture I made called Car in Heaven, Forever Parallel Parking. And this was kind of like a, this piece kind of informed a bunch of other work later on. And I kind of got ideas from making this. A lot of my work, I will hold on to something for a long time and then I'll bring it back in later on. All right, and then here's some animation. I made a animation table and was playing around with that while I was in school too. And then, so I guess I'll go back. I originally went to the Art Institute for film. I was more interested in making video and capturing just documenting things. And I didn't really think that I was that good at drawing or painting. But as you learn at the Art Institute, you don't really need to be good at drawing or painting to do it. So that was and that there's kind of beauty in it, things not being perfect. So I started in film and then I switched over to sculpture. There's a video of Gabe. There's a picture of Gabe and some ceramic heads that studies that I was doing. And then was also making these plaster masks and taking videos with the plaster masks and going to Lombard Street and photobombing tourist spots, which you'll see in some of my other video work. But let's see. So let me see. This is a video from my freshman year at SFAA. I'm gonna kind of skip around on it, but I shot this with on actual film, and I'll play for a second. Of me in the dorm and me in the sculpture pit, and then I made all these masks freshman year. I had a bunch of friends go up on the roof and wear them, and I was trying to shoot in the dark with the film camera. It didn't really work out as good as I wanted it to, but I got enough footage for it to yeah, it was fun project. And I liked getting a bunch of friends together and shooting videos, and that's interacting with the public in that way, wearing the masks out and engaging with people, which is the theme of the work. You'll see that throughout this presentation again and again. Here's a car that I made. It was just basically a line drawing of a car, and I was in a sculpture class with John Roloff, and he kind of showed me how to scale drawings and then make large scale structures with that, which was a really cool and interesting skill to kind of hone over the years. But this was one of the first projects that I did with that. And so this is it on the SFAI rooftop. And then I had a show over in Oakland, and I brought it over there and left the car on the street, and there's a photo somewhere of somebody ticketing the car. They're like stapling a parking ticket to it, which I gotta find that for the next show. While I was at the Art Institute, I worked in the McBean Gallery, and that was kind of my introduction to art handling and setting up shows. And while I was in the McBean, there was a lot of visiting artists, and I got to work one-on-one with them, and it was, you know, a really great experience and kind of inspired me to want to do the art services type work that I do now. This is another mask that I made and wore out into public. I have a video here. About somebody visiting San Francisco and taking videos. Camera that I have here that I'm shooting with is a camera that I still use that I got in high school. It's just a little flip cam. But all right, so here's Alicia McCarthy's mural that I helped her paint on Market Street, and she was a big influence on me in school, and she was a studio advisor for me. I never really took any classes, but she like definitely like influenced me in how I think about just interacting with people in general, and how she, like, I guess, treats the world and like moves through it. It was a yeah, definitely like showed me a lot and like taught me a lot, not just in art but like in life. Here's another mural that we painted in Ohio at the Wexner Center. And then here's John DeFazio, another teacher of mine at the Art Institute, who works definitely like influenced me and taught me about the process of mold making. And John's a total sweetheart and really nice to work with. Since the Art Institute closed, this was his MFA project from 1984 that was being stored in a room above the wood shop at the Art Institute, and I had to move that out by like a quick date. So we took it out and then we ended up rebuilding it, and that piece is 8 feet tall by 6 feet wide and probably weighs 1,000 pounds. I'm gonna like skip forward on the video, but there's metal threaded rod sticking out the back of it, and I had to build this structural wall to rebuild the artwork here. Cool. So yeah, it was a really great fun project to work on together, and that was pretty recent. But yeah, John's worked a lot over the years in ceramics and has shown me mold making processes. He worked at MTV in the 80s and did claymation on Pee-wee's Playhouse. He's definitely like when I went to apply to the Art Institute, that was definitely like a selling point. I was like, oh, this guy can show me all the video and sculptural stuff really like drew me in. Cool. So here is I had a demolition derby with these remote control cars in the Diego Rivera gallery at school, which is like kind of like the first slide that I showed with the car, kind of that coming back and into this project. And I attached like cameras to the car so you could have like a first person view of that. So, and then that became my senior show project. And I made like, I screen printed the cars and then cut them out. So here's the screen print. And then here's me cutting it out. And then gluing it together, soldering it. And then, yeah, here is the cars on the roof driving around. And then I ended up making a bunch of houses and had a little 4x4 city block. And then there was a Google bus that would like gets like kind of wedged and stuck in you wouldn't be able to drive the cars around the city blocks. But yeah, that was a super fun project. And that was my final show at SFAA. And then shortly after graduating, I had a show called Only the Habit. And I sewed a bunch of nun costumes and got a bunch of people together to skateboard from the top of Stockton Tunnel down to Yerba Buena Park. And so I'll play a little bit of the video here. Police like immediately showed up and tried to stop us from. It's pretty funny what he says here.
This can't happen. Whatever this plan thing you're about to do, this can't happen. What's illegal? You can't ride your skateboard through the Stockton Tunnel. We're going shopping.
What is going on?
Do it somewhere else. Okay.
But I just started up everyone's cameras and sent them through the tunnel anyway. Didn't get in any trouble. And then crossing Market Street was funny because people could still drive on Market Street, and you get people in the train tracks on Market Street. One person fell down. Anyway, here's a photo of the opening where I handed out trophies that says I lost faith at the nun race, and then there was photos and video displayed at that. Cool. And then I think 2018, like a couple years after I graduated, I had my first big solo show at RSF, which was on Larkin Street, which was started by some friends that worked with me at the Walter McBean, who were in the grad program. I built this muffler man out of paper mache. It was like 2 stories tall. It was a pretty fun project to do. Had some like painting and wood sculptures. Here, just kind of flip through this. Here's a kinetic sculpture that you pedal and it punches itself in the head. Play this. That one's. So this was one of my first relief pieces that I did for that show. And I kind of think this was my favorite piece in that show. But yeah, this kind of like the portraiture and the attaching things to panels, kind of from here, I started doing that a lot more. And then carving into wood and doing more relief stuff became more of a focus for a while. And then that brings me to the Facebook air mural. Footage of me carving. Carving it here with my friend Jonah. Cool. All right, so here's half of it is right there. The sheets were 9 feet tall, and then the mural itself was 26 feet long. So this was definitely like the biggest project I've ever done. And it was, I've been painting that mural on Market Street and going there early in the morning and like watching people just like cross the street. So I wanted to make a mural of people on the street, just like where it would just be the image would be entirely just figures. So I kind of like really liked it just as the wood relief, but anyway, so here's Jonah and I installing it at Facebook. Drew, my business partner, also helped me install too, and my girlfriend Alexis helped me paint it. There's part of Matt Gonzalez's face. I had a couple of friends and a couple of people I knew. I like edited into the piece. There's like Alicia's up there. And all the paint came from Alicia's mural on Market Street. So it was all these different like bright colors from that project as well. Yeah, that was a huge piece. And this is like the only photo I have of like it in one complete section. So I don't know. It was a really interesting and fun experience to like work at that scale. And yeah, 9 foot by like 5 foot sheets of MDF, super heavy. I got it 1 inch thick because I thought I would carve deeper into the relief, and I only really carved like 1/2 inch in. But yeah, it was a really great experience and fun project to do. From there, here's some sculptural works. Always like kind of having some fun play with the artwork. The Spider-Man thing has like this toilet plunger that you can pull and it shoots you with silly string. And then this is a sculpture of the Let's Paint TV guy, John, and he had this public access television show called Let's Paint, blend drinks, or let's exercise, paint, and blend drinks. And then he would take phone calls and people would call in on the public access, and it would be like live on TV. So people said like whatever, and it aired. It was pretty funny. But yeah, he was running on a treadmill. So I had there's like this wheel of feet that rotate, and the whole top body of the top of the body kind of jiggles, and he like kind of looks like he's painting. It's like a paper mache and metal sculpture. This is like a rodeo clown kind of like falling over. I made in, I think, 2017 in Miami, at the Art Basel like Juxtaposed Clubhouse. That was a really fun experience going out there and like just like going to all the different art fairs. It was like pre expert art service, so it was fun just to go view the art. Here's some wood carvings. There's the diner dog, and then this is a sculpture of the crosswalk sign. So there's like the walking man and the orange stop hand. Billboard lawyers. These are just segments of billboards that I took photos of and made relief carvings of. It's like an injured ad or what have you. Continue. So this is a piece in a show at the first On Approval opening. I could call it Somebody's Son, Somebody's Cadillac, and then there's a working flip clock, so those numbers flip over, and it's just like a clock. So there's kind of like some function in the art there. Cool. I'm going to continue to. Here's the dog armature. So I made a running dog sculpture, and this was the start of it. There's a garage door motor, a bunch of different like car wheels, and V-bell. Here's a second view of it. There's it more. Oh, it paused. And then here's it with the cycling sculpture and the moving background, all running off one garage door motor and random parts that I found. Sewing the rotating background was the most difficult thing that my friend Jonah helped me with. And then here's the opening, which is at the Great Highway Gallery on Sunset. So it's basically it was a guy riding the bike with his dog, and then the kind of sky moving in the background. Yeah, it was a fun show. It was definitely like a learning experience, making like a kinetic artwork and then covering it with fur. Definitely don't need to make it. It was the fur kind of added like a bear suit to it. It was like, it looked more like a dog in a bear suit than anything. And then I did these reliefs inside and had a small portrait of my dog. And then, yeah, so these are the first plaster cast reliefs that I started doing, and is kind of carried that process into my current work. There's a video of me with my first moving van in the SF MoMA basement parking lot, cutting something in half for Sahar, because they wouldn't let her cut this bank teller booth in half inside the museum. So we got the call. And I kind of just wanted to show the van with a magnet on it, painted by Lauren D'Amato. Here's Drew with the expert van. This is the original van that we got, and we sold it and got a newer van that's larger to transport bigger works. But we basically started our business with this van, and you know, just a little bit of know-how. So it was fun. So we made a half-scale replica of the van in just because we loved it so much. So here's a video of that. I'm at about 30 minutes now. I'm gonna try to cut through. All right, so here's the boat project. That's Torin. Torin helped me build the boat. Torin was, I had met him outside of Gallery 16. I said that I had an idea about building a boat that was kind of like a jet ski. And he was basically just like, I'll make a boat with you. And that's how we became friends. So here we are. Yeah, putting that in. So it was a stitch and glue process, which basically you have like copper wire and you basically sew the boat together and then you epoxy the seams to hold everything together. Here's video. All the clamps. Got kind of more fancy than I thought it would. Painting. So here's me out in the water. There's the boat and the old Astro van. Here's Torin coming in on the boat. It's pretty back heavy. And then Lauren D'Amato also painted the front of the boat. It was back heavy, so I put my girlfriend Alexis in the front and we rode out and it balanced it out. But the project with that is still to be finished. I'm putting motorcycle steering inside the boat and shifting all the weight towards the front. Here's another boat project, these figures that I built. And drove around in the lake. Here's that. This is another fun project where you kind of engage with the public and have like sculptural things, just interacting with each other and the world. Here's the bike sculpture. Skip through that. All right, and then here's the start of the shrimp stuff. So here's a shrimp towel, did a collaboration with Plunge. And then the shrimp car, here is the shrimp car. We made it on the news for the SF MoMA Soapbox Derby and got interviewed by Bob Riddell. It was a pretty short interview. We stayed up all night getting the car ready and did the epoxy and the painting. It was still off gassing for weeks after that. Here's a photo of the race. There's Jonah, Alexis, Hisu, Drew. There's Lauren's car, Sonny's car, Whitney, and then Torin's car. Here's Hisu doing public work with she had a residency at 41 Ross. We brought the shrimp over there. And then here's me and Andrew. I'm kind of running out of time, so I'm gonna flip through this kind of quickly. Me and Andrew. So here's some images of us working together with Experts Art Service. We met working at the Asian Art Museum and then started the company. And we do furniture and custom fabrication, show installs. Here's me and Mike installing bronze work. We do custom panels and pedestal fabrication. There's the magnet again. Drew and Charlie and I installing Shell's work. Some more current work, doing the relief where it's carved, and then most current stuff, I'm casting out of clay and doing less carving, less dust, trying to make the process a little bit more clean. And all right, here is the end video. Are you tired of this artist talk? Are you lonely? Are you looking for meaning outside of your job? What is a job? What are you even doing? These are all questions. I got news for you. For a limited time now, until the end of your life, you can take an artist-run workshop. Examples of classes are one-part mold making, paper sculpture, ceramic bust for beginners, one-on-one will throwing. Help an artist make money with their desired skill set. It's called Funny Little Workshop. Take an artist-run workshop. It's fun. I'm interested in running free community art critiques. You can come talk about yourself or your art. What are these workshops about? It's about having an artist share one-on-one or in a small group setting a skill of the arts. Take an artist-run workshop. It'll help with the pain of day-to-day life. Pay an artist to teach you what they are good at and about the different processes of making. You come into my studio and I show you how to do something that you didn't know how to do. Paper sculpture. Make a small-scaled maquette before you go big. One-part mold making. Cast a single-sided object and make a relief of your own. Look at this. Take a workshop on how to pack and hang your own art. Ceramic busts for beginners. Take a class and explore making a small head. Painting. Life left alive. Not taking an artist-run workshop. Lame. Lonely. You have to find another way to support artists. Brain rot. Benefits of taking an artist-run workshop. Cool thing to do with friends. Cool thing to talk about at work. Supporting artists and your ego. Follow Funny Little Work on Instagram. Or email me at funnylittleworkshop@gmail.com. Contact us today and Take an Artist Run workshop. Okay. So that's the past 10 years and an infomercial. Cool.
Everybody join me in a round of applause for Oliver, for a virtual round of applause. You're all nervous, Oliver, but that was pretty good. And then Maria, are we switching to Q&A?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, everyone. We have only one question so far. That was from Thomas about the angels that you were installing that were hanging off the ceiling. Who that was, whose artwork that was. That was the question so far.
That was what is it? What's that? Not Doug Hall. That was a different show. David Ireland. That was from the David Ireland show. I don't know if that was exactly like a David Ireland piece, but there was a motor that swung that angel on like a rope that like kind of like it was like spinning in the gallery. And then yeah, for that show we also poured cement down the staircase, and yeah, no, it was a cool, it was a fun show to install.
We got another question from Rye. When are the artist workshops starting?
The artist workshops are like kind of a work in progress. I'm trying to start them up pretty soon. I'm trying to set up and figure out how to do like a one-part mold making workshop, but the only issue with that is like I kind of want to try to figure out how to make it so you can do it all in one day, but that materially that like is like kind of an issue because there's a lot of dry time, and like doing like latex molds like I do, like you have to apply a bunch of layers and it just takes a long time to do. So I'm working on getting a kiln so I can do like a plaster mold and then like cast things in plaster and cast them in actually ceramic and fire them. But I don't know, I'm kind of like troubleshooting some of the things. But I'm hoping to get it done like maybe within the month. So yeah.
Yay, awesome. Right, you can ask your own questions too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I appreciate this kind of like workshop idea, just in the same sense that I feel like it's as much as we're all kind of in this weird limbo of SFAI, the building, and not being able to access that building. What I appreciate about this workshop is it's almost an extension of it, if you will. And so yeah, that's what I was curious about. Like, are you I know that you'll be kind of teaching workshops, but how do we hear about these workshops in the future?
Oh, so I have the Instagram that I made. It's called Funny Little Work, and I'm just going to be posting information to that one, and I'll probably have the infomercial on there. And yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to do more. I want to have like do the workshops. I don't necessarily want it to just be me. Like I want it to like grow and evolve to maybe just be like a platform for other artists to like host things too. And then also have like community like art talks or like critiques and stuff like that, just to like bring people together a little bit more in the wake of SFAI not being open. Oh yeah, here's my shirt. I have a SFAI Forever shirt made by this German exchange student, Pablo. It was a fun one.
That's awesome. We have a couple of more questions from Eve Werner. Where do all these fabulous artworks live when not enjoying the limelight? You got a lot of large scale works there.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing about being a sculptor is just if you want to work with scale and like it's a challenge. I'm looking for a place to put the shrimp car right now. If anyone out there has any ideas, let me know. We might be driving it down and putting it in Drew's parents' garage. So, but yeah, the shrimp car made a tour from MoMA to KQED, and we're looking for like another like office building to put it in. Or I was thinking about doing like a workshop with like high school students and talking about building scale and like seeing if I could like have it installed in a school for like an extended period of time. You know?
That's
But
awesome.
yeah.
It goes on tour.
Yeah, it's hard to manage like building stuff to that scale, and then like I also like don't like throwing, creating more waste too. I don't like bringing things to the dump. But yeah, sometimes it goes to the dump.
There was another question about if some of those workshops might be online.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some more online type stuff, and then like charging like maybe like instead of like charging like, I don't know, like $100 to a couple $100 for like a couple, like a full day workshop or whatever, doing like $15 online or like $10 online to like sign up and like just like do like a step-by-step like process video type thing.
There's a good question from David Benslaw also. How important do you think humor is in art making?
I think it's a good kind of gateway to get into basically anyone's like, head a little bit, or like at least like engage with people. Like I think, with art, if someone can like, laugh at it, at least they're engaging with it. So I think that kind of crosses over a lot of different like boundaries where people like who don't really have experience with art, or like, it's just like a lot more approachable. And I like that the most about like doing sculpture and video works.
John Fortes, what was it about shrimp that you were drawn to that image? And Charlie Lees is asking if you want to come eat shrimp with him or her.
Charlie's sure. The shrimp, my brother had a bunch of shrimp, and then Drew and I have a fish tank in our studio. We were trying to breed shrimp, and we're doing shrimp farming, and we were like, it was kind of like this like business idea to like, because you can sell the shrimp for like, I don't know, we're trying to like have a shrimp farm, and all the shrimp ended up dying, and the shrimp was, it was kind of an homage to the shrimp. But there's a really funny interview where we talk about the shrimp car, and Drew talks about why we chose the shrimp there, and it's a pretty funny bit.
There was another suggestion for the shrimp car that the airport would be a good place to display it. And also, Rai, you said SFAA City Studio, right? That's still running.
Yeah, Amy Burke is still continuing City Studio. I don't know where they're running out of, but they work with youth. So I'll send you the info after all of
Yeah, anyone who has any information about that, either send me a text or send me a DM or email. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Are there any other questions here from all the audience members? You can also unmute yourself if you like to do that instead of putting it in the chat, or any comments you would like to directly give to Oliver. I'm gonna remove the pins now so you can see everyone. There you go. I just had so much fun listening to all your projects. It was really incredible. It's like this, what you were talking about, this accessibility of like, you know, just seeing those two heads in the water, like
Yeah.
floating around. It's just like, I'm so sorry you couldn't hear us all laugh and be like excited about because we were all muted, you know, but I just wanted to say, like, I was laughing like a lot. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Oliver, this is Julia.
Hi.
Hi, it's so great to see you continuing doing your work.
Hey,
I
it's good to
miss
see you
going
too.
into the sculpture pit and being scared by your monsters.
Yeah.
That was
So
the
we're-
best morning, you know, Saturday mornings were the best.
Yeah.
I'd go in, I'd have to look under the tables. That was great. Yeah, so this is so fun to see. If you if you come down to San Diego, come see my my ceramic studio. Love to see you.
Oh yeah, definitely would love to. Yeah, my business partners from San Diego. We might be driving the shrimp down there soon. We're looking for storage. But yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had storage, but I don't.
Oh, we got it down there. But it's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, it's great to see you too.
Hi, Oliver. Can
Hi.
everybody see me? Hi.
Who's
I just
that?
wanted to make a comment that in a time in San Francisco when space is at such a premium, it was really rad to watch you kind of go at things unencumbered by the size limitations of the city. Like, and it made me think about kind of the way San Francisco art had been for a really long time before the space crunch was really on. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to let you know that I really appreciate your work for that.
Thank
And
you.
it's so fun and it makes me so jealous. And I can't wait to try to copy you.
Thanks, Adam.
Right on, man.
Appreciate it.
All righty. Maybe we have time for one or two more questions and then Rai is gonna wrap it up for us. Eleni, you gotta unmute yourself. Even in Greece, you gotta unmute yourself. Eleni is joining us from Greece. There you go.
Hi, I really enjoyed your work and
Thank
your
you.
presentation. And I've been, you know, at the McBean Gallery working with wonderful artists. And it was so funny with David Ireland too, himself though. And because I was in another century there. And that was really, that had an impact in my work too. Worked with Keith Haring and Barbara Kruger and many other people. So I really understand what you've said about really, you know, being, having, you know, really, how can I say, an impact to your work, you know, your work there at the McBean Galleries.
Yeah, definitely. It was really inspiring as a student.
Yeah.
Being able to like set up those shows and work with the artists directly and like kind of like having a view into like the world of like making, like, you know, I was 20 or 18 or whatever, and like seeing, you know, that was like a window into like the world of like an actual artist, you know, outside of an institution. And it was definitely like very inspiring. And you know,
yeah, I was pretty young too, you know, back then. So it had really, you know, it was really like eye-opening.
yeah.
And I enjoyed your work so much, so much. Wonderful work.
Thank
Great
you.
work. I
Appreciate
loved it. And the shrimp.
The shrimp. Trying not to make any more shrimp stuff.
Yeah, well, that was amazing. And the other ones, the kinetic and the sculptures you're trying to make, you know, with the kinetic and the dog and everything. That's really great. And I like the boldness. I like the way they show, like, it's a dog in a bear suit, as you said.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that humor. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eleni.
Yeah,
All righty.
I want to also say I really like a lot your work, and I appreciate a lot that you mention John DeFascio, because I took her class too, and I think it's amazing, and was amazing teacher, and we learned so much about kitsch and vernacular in her class, and I saw the influence on your work of him too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's great.
Definitely.
Yeah. Beautiful
Alrighty.
work. Very interesting.
Thank you, Sandra. We got one last question from David Bensler. That is a very SFAI question.
That's a packed one. I don't know if you can answer that in like 2
I'm
minutes.
not sure either, but I'm gonna post all the questions in the we're gonna post the video on YouTube if you joined in late, and then I'm gonna add all the questions to the YouTube. So maybe you want to mold it over, Oliver, but I'm gonna hand it over to Rai for our little final minute or two.
Oh, I'll just say, so this happens every month, Maria. I think the next one is the 7th, is it? December?
First Monday in December.
First Monday in December, and it'll be Mercedes Durami, who is a Gabrielino Tongva tribe. That's the LA area. She makes amazing work, has been kind of all over the place, and we are lucky to have her next month. But next year it's going to be filled also with amazing SFAA alumni. And I think, you know, I feel like this organization that Maria heads is very open to, I think, even just like suggestions possibly too, you know, so I just want to put that out there. I like the transparency of this organization. But thank you, Oliver, for your time, and thank you everybody here for joining. And Oliver, I guess we'll get back to David's question at some point. I don't know.
I'll talk to him later. I don't know how to answer that right now.
Alrighty, everyone. I'm gonna stop the video now, and then everyone can say their goodbyes off video. So bye, everyone on video.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.